What is good, y'all? Don't mind that we're late. Mind your business. Um, but y'all know what time it is. My name is simply Soju, also known as Soju, also known as Granny Pink, in honor of KJ because I miss that man. Also known as the Crozy Crash Out, and with me today is Tina, also known as Marty, also known as the Shy Dawn, also known as the Terry Crews Herder herself, also known as I'm tired of this grandpa.
Sure am. Sure am.
And we are unhinged and unfiltered, also known as we did not get raptured, and you know why. Yo, did you hear about all the crazy bullshit people were doing because they thought the rapture was going to happen?
No.
Girl, people were quitting their jobs.
Oh.
People were selling their cars. People
Mm.
were putting their pets in the shelter.
Yo?
Somebody sold their house. A woman gave her kids to CPS. She
Huh?
turned them into the state.
Um. That's tough. What?
Right.
I bet you all of them today are feeling like,
Dumb as fuck. Nah,
yeah.
you would think. No, they're like, guys, we got the date wrong. It's actually the 25th. I will see you on Friday, you dumb motherfuckers. I will see you on Friday. Because what do you mean? Y'all better
Where
not ask for your job back.
right. Where do they even I was late to the party, to the Rapture party. I'm sorry. Where did they get this date from?
So apparently, some pastor in South Africa said he got a vision from the Lord saying that the Lord gave him the warning that we've been looking for and that September 23rd is the rapture. Yeah.
So, look, if he said the 23rd, then that's it. How did the date get mistaken and now it's
Bruh,
tomorrow?
I don't I don't know. Like they're scrambling. I'll believe it when it happens. No, dead ass.
No, right.
Dead ass. But the people, I'm sorry, the people that sold their car, you ain't getting your car back. Fuck no, baby. The
Your
lady who
house?
gave up her kids, I hope they don't go give those kids back to you.
Yeah, no,
Cause
that's crazy.
because not only did you give up your children, you thought literal children were not gonna get raptured. What the fuck them
Right.
kids
Like,
do?
what? And if not, what about like the people that? What about CPS? They're not going to get raptured. Like, what? I don't understand the thought process behind that.
Uh,
Mm.
other than having my Mayo ass playing Borderlands 4, period. Nah, I thought it was so funny, especially I've been seeing like gay content creators come forward and with DMs they got before the rapture. Because there was
Mm.
one man, he received a DM from a woman, and she was like, "I know how much you love dogs. I like I don't know if you heard, but the rapture is coming, and I would love it if you could take care of like my sweet, I don't know, like Angela. That dog had like a regular ass fucking name. I'm not gonna hold you. It's like, and he was like, the rapture isn't happening, but did you just assume that my ass wasn't gonna get raptured?
Right.
Excuse? And she was like, look, I know you have a good heart and you're a kind soul, but you just do things that the Lord does not agree with. So no, I don't believe you're getting raptured. If you please don't mind taking care of my dog. And he's funny as fuck. He's like, so what? It's like, so I'm the devil's number one dog sitter? What the fuck?
That's
He's like,
Wow.
no, I'm not taking your dog because this isn't fucking happening. And she's like, okay, I'll just find somebody else to do it then. And then it got to like the day of, and he was like, so you find somebody to take care of your dog? And she's like, this is heinous and mean. and,
I
and
wonder how she's feeling now.
she blocked him.
Mm.
She blocked him. He was like, bitch, bye. Please unfollow me because what the hell?
Right. It's crazy.
Everyone wants to go to my dentist because he bought me an Xbox Series X.
Yo,
What? I'm like, fam, he's mine. What?
I would want to go to your dentist too. What do you mean?
Are you giving your dentist some sugar?
Yo.
What do you mean he bought you an Xbox Series X? And Borderlands 4. What are you talking about? You laying pipe code, man? On your dentist? Like, what the fuck? But yeah, no, he dead ass bought it. Yeah. But what was the price, bro? You paid something. Was it your mouth? Are you his best paying
Nothing.
customer? Nah, I don't believe you. He's gonna be waiting. He's gonna be
Yo,
on your doorstep
give me the
Christmas.
connections to your dentist.
$20 is $20. I'm crying. In not so fun news, because even with the Rapture, I have seen skits being like, shit, I hope it happens. I hope it does. Because I can't wait to see Donald Trump go on the news and be like, L Rapture, fake news. Or it's like, he's like, I bet you they would have just left his shoes and clothes out and we would have spotted him in the media later.
Yo.
Because with the Rapture, they always say that you ascend up naked. You'll just like see like piles of clothes on the ground where people were once standing. They got raptured.
Did not know that.
Now, when you ascend booty butt naked as the Lord sent you down. But aside from that, there's the whole bullshit with Ned Fulmer, formerly of the Try Guys. I know you said you didn't watch the Try Guys.
Yeah.
I watched them since like their BuzzFeed days. I'm not gonna hold you. I don't really watch them much anymore unless I'm like heavy in my depression and I'm watching Keith eat everything on the menu at like Taco Bell. But so the whole thing is like it was a group of 4 guys that, you know, tried things. It was an interesting series for like a little while, but everybody had their own like niche. Like Eugene was their only person of color and gay. Keith was like the tall, funny guy that was also a foodie. Zach, I'm not gonna hold you. Zach was just weird. Out of the Try Guys, he was probably 3rd on my list, but he wasn't last. He was just strange to me. But he also is Jewish and has a autoimmune disorder, so he does talk about the struggles about being like chronically disabled. So they had like their niches. Ned's niche was being the wife guy because he didn't have a fucking personality outside of I love my wife. So back in 2022, he obviously cheated on his wife. But the thing is, why it was such a big scandal is that he was not only sleeping with one of their employees, he was also like their entire HR department. Yeah. Zach's thing is that he's one bad day away from dying from 30 chronic illnesses. No, dead ass. I was about to say, I mean, apparently he also has like a huge dick, so shout out to him.
Yo.
They did like a fucking polygraph, not the O. So the Try Guys had a the Try Guys try polygraph. So they brought in an official polygraph tester, and one of the questions that they wrote down from not the shit, maybe we like Zach. One of the questions that they asked all four of the guys was, who in the group do you think has like the biggest dick? And without fail, all of them said Zach. Zach is the only one that did not say himself, but all three of the other guys was like, oh yeah, it's Zach, hands down.
Well,
Not because I'm not gonna hold you. Out of all the guys, I thought he was like one of the most ugly, but his wife is gorgeous. His
mm-hmm.
wife is beautiful, and I was like, now how did he pull an actual 10? And then that episode came out where it said that he's slanging meat, and I'm like, you know what? I understand. Go off, sis. But so after the scandal happened, he obviously got fired from the Try Guys because not only was he like one of the bosses, he was the head of HR. They fired him to protect themselves from like a fucking lawsuit because I'm sorry about it. He slept with one of his employees.
Yeah.
And after that, he just like faded into obscurity. Like he did not issue a statement. They never came forward. People tried getting to talk to like his wife about what happened, and she wasn't going to make a statement either. So now, 3 years later, he's back on the internet with a podcast that he has titled Rock Bottom with Ned Fulmer. And the first guest he has on the show is his ex wife, because he wants this show to be a platform where people who have hit rock bottom could come on the show and talk about what they went through and how they got past it. And I'm not going to hold you. If I already did not like this man, I like him even less after like watching the clips, because I refused to watch that podcast and give that man views.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously he's interviewing his ex-wife, and honestly, power to her for standing up for herself and putting that man in her place, because not only did he start this podcast, like he basically rebranded their old podcast. So Ned and his wife, as part of the Try Guys things, used to have a parenting podcast called Baby Steps. Instead of making a new podcast, he took down all of the old Baby Step episodes and rebranded it. So he kept all the followers from that podcast and the monetization. It's
Wow.
so fucked up, because this was like a parenting podcast that him and his wife started after they had their first child.
Yeah.
And it's like, sir, fuck off.
That's crazy.
But in the podcast, she goes on to say that, like, she's, I mean, she was like mad at him for not telling her, because apparently the way she found out about him cheating on her was the fans. Like, fans of the Try Guys saw him out in New York with their employee, took pictures of him, and DM'd her on Instagram. He did not even have the nerve to to tell his wife himself, which, by the way, he had been cheating on her for like a year.
But he was the wife guy.
Yeah, he was the wife
Couldn't
guy.
stop talking about loving his wife, and
That was his entire shtick. Like, anytime there was an episode, he would be like, "My wife," because his voice, I'm not going to hold you, is very nasally and annoying. I
mm-hmm.
call, I call, when I was complaining about it, I'm like, "This Squilliam fancy son looking ass. What the fuck?"
I'm screaming.
He's not. He's not cute, and he sounds like Squidward from SpongeBob.
Mm. Mm-mm.
So she was obviously upset about that, rightfully so, because we've been married for how many goddamn years, and you don't even have the nerve to tell me.
Right.
And so he asked her about how she felt after initially finding out and everything, and she's like, well, obviously, like, devastated. She's like, all this like shame and guilt was suddenly like hoisted onto me, because when she said when they were having this conversation, he had picked her up from the airport, she asked him about the photo, and he had like finally come clean. And then when he finally came clean, this man had the audacity to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so relieved because now you know. And she's like, wow, you felt relief. All that guilt and shame that you've been carrying because you were keeping this a secret from me was now hoisted onto my shoulders, that
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to carry around with me for the rest of my life. And this pissed me off so bad. That man looks her dead in the face and he's like, yeah, I hate that as a society we put you in that position.
As a
As
society.
a society, motherfucker, I didn't cheat on your wife.
Right.
You cheated on your wife, bro. Like, and it's, I'm not gonna lie, watching just even the clips is a really hard watch, because there's a lot of awkward silences. You can very clearly tell that she's still very hurt by this.
Mm-hmm.
Um but not once throughout that podcast does he take accountability, which is fucking crazy to me. The way he talks about it is he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a victim of this too, sir. You did this,
How is he a victim?
bro." It's like she was going on about how it's harder for her to make friends because they either like already know about the situation or they find out about it, and she said that she's just having a hard time making friends without talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, oh yeah, me too.
I mean, you're the one that did it.
Right. And he's like, yeah, if I meet somebody and they ask for like my social media, I would be like, sure, yeah, I have an Instagram. I have like way more followers than you would expect, and do not Google me.
If you have to say to not Google you, I don't want to know you.
Right. Like if it's like, hey, because he's like, don't Google me until you get to know me, and it's like, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Sorry about it. But she's she was funny as fuck because she really put him in his place with like some of the stuff. So, so she's talking about how she felt and everything and how hurt she was when she finally found out. And after she had said this, he's like, I didn't realize like up until that moment really that I had been hurting you. And she laughs in this man's face.
As she
She's
should.
she's like, you didn't realize that that would hurt me. And there was like the crucial question, and he's like, a lot of people want to know if you have forgiven me and that we're still together. And a round of applause, because she immediately was like, no, absolutely not. Fuck no. She's like, how do you forgive somebody for cheating on you,
Right.
for lying to you, and for destroying your entire life? How do you forgive somebody for that? And what's crazy to me is that he looked floored. Like he was surprised by this answer. So they're not officially divorced. I still will call him, like, call Ariel like his ex-wife, because
Mm-hmm.
she said they've been legally separated since the cheating happened. But yeah, I I'm sure that he's really living it up with the amount of views that he's gotten right now. But at the end of the day, everybody that liked the Try Guys that watched him watched for him and Ariel. They did
Mm.
not watch him for him. They watched for their relationship. And honestly, more people supported her than they did him. So
Good.
eat shit. And now getting into our true crime. I just want to do a brief update on David.
Mm-hmm.
Cause dear Lord,
Yeah.
I there's so much stuff on the internet with this poor girl and David. Didn't they have an Asian guy in Try Guys? I always liked him. Yes, that was Eugene. He also left, but that's because he's been wanting to leave for a while. He's always dreamed about being like a director. So that's why he left the Try Guys. He still like is an owner of it. But yeah, Eugene was my favorite. Um this poor child, a lot of people are being like she was only 17. No, she wasn't. Because by the time they found her, she had been deceased for like a month. So she did not make it to her 15th birthday.
Right.
She was 14 years old. And I don't know what you've seen, Tina. Like, have you seen all the social media like posts? Like, it seems like so many people knew that this was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's astonishing to me how many people knew that this was going on and nobody did anything to protect this girl. One of her teachers did come forward and say that he did report it because he thought it was strange that a 17-year-old boy was coming to see her at school,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing happened with it, probably because David was also a minor. Everyone was complicit, I fear. No, dead ass
Yeah.
though. Like, I get that when they met, she was 11 years old, but when she was 11, he was 16. Why is a 16-year-old hanging out outside of an elementary school for his fifth grader girlfriend?
Right.
Nobody thought that shit was weird. And then, of course, she went missing when she was 13.
Mm-hmm.
And she was all over his Discord. Like, bro, we're the PE teacher had to scare him away. No, dead ass. I don't know which one of her teachers reported David. It might have been her PE teacher because that seems like the only one that would have seen him low key. But that Discord is foul, bro. I I don't want to do too much on his Discord because I think the people in his Discord were also kids.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure that all the people that knew about their relationship in the Discord were kids and didn't think that shit was weird because Celeste was also a kid. And I think it's gross that there are people on the internet right now that are defending David, saying that Celeste lied about her age. Baby, I don't care if she lied about her age. Does that look like a 19-year-old girl to you?
Absolutely not.
She looked like a
You can
child.
tell, yeah, in her face, it was not 19.
Like, you can't tell me that she was grown. She was literally fucking 12 years old. No, she does. No. Hell, even if she did look grown, I bet you she didn't talk like an adult.
Mm-hmm.
If not, though, I need the name of every. No, yeah, in that Discord, if they weren't fucking kids and they knew about it, yeah, I need your names, bro. But she was like super active in the Discord. Everybody fucking knew. Just crazy work. There was even people are going back through David's like TikTok now where he like posted a thing. And as far back as like February 2024, when she's been missing for a couple of months, somebody commented saying, I hope LAPD gets your ass for that 13-year-old girl that you be hanging with. So people knew.
Yeah.
And I do hate seeing that there's a bunch of like fake like AI news articles and stuff out right now saying that they found like a fetus buried in his backyard or something. And I'm like, if that was the case, he would have been arrested. But as of right now, David still has not been brought up on charges because all the social media evidence apparently is just like circumstantial.
Yeah.
It shows that they
They
had a relationship, but not that he killed her.
yeah. Like outside of obviously her body being found in his car, they need more hardcore evidence linking him to like being the one that killed her. Which is
Yeah.
unfortunate because even then, like again, he was fucking with a child.
Yeah. Like
Well,
a
how is that
child,
enough?
bro.
Like not enough to like bring him in at least to question the relationship because I don't understand that.
I the problem is since she's dead, she can't press charges on him for being a pedophile. So like the only people that can are like her parents. I'm pretty sure, and I don't even know how that works. I
Right.
t- I told people that I was like, unfortunately, all this proves is that he was a pedophile, and she's dead, so he can't go to jail for that anymore. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even know if her parents could press charges for like you know grooming and molesting their daughter. But a lot of people are swearing up and down that her parents knew about it because she told her parents that she had a boyfriend named David. She told them that when she was 11 years old. And I'm not going to hold you. If my fifth grader told me that they have a boyfriend named David, I'm not going to be too concerned. I'm just going to assume that's a boy in her
That they're the
class.
same age exactly. Yeah.
Like, I don't. I have been seeing like I saw a Reddit post where saying like somebody was alleging that the family was pimping her out to David and David was like paying them money to see her. I like again, no clue if that's true or not. If that's the case, everybody let this girl down.
Right.
But again, if my 11-year-old told me that they had like a little boyfriend, I would wholly assume that it's a fifth grader in their class with them because David's not an uncommon name.
Right.
I would fully believe there's a little boy named David in her class. So, yeah, it's fucked. And it's super fucked because not only was she murdered, she was dismembered. I I gotta meet your little boyfriend. Yeah, and you know what? That is true. That is true. I gotta meet your little boyfriend and his mama. It's I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
It's really sad. And at first I didn't know who David was, but if you've
Me
seen
either.
the second season of Invincible, he wrote the song Feeling It that plays like a lot throughout the second season of Invincible. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
man, I like that song. But like not even just like all the social media stuff. He was currently on tour when they found her, you know what I'm saying? Did you
Mm-hmm.
know that as his last two concerts, he fucking held a funeral on stage?
Yeah.
That shit,
That's weird.
it's weird.
Be-
It
what?
people are like, "Oh, he's just taking artistic liberties, da 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 da," da," and then this happened. They're like, "Oh, um,
Yeah.
okay." Yeah, and it's also weird because in every single music video of his, like the model in the music video looks like her,
Yeah. I've
inclu-
seen that.
including the one for Romantic Homicide,
Mm-hmm.
which by the
Yeah.
way, he released that song on her
On her
birthday.
birthday. Yeah.
Like,
Right. So there's all these little things that are like,
this is suspicious.
right. Like it
Like,
can't to me it don't seem like a coincidence at
no,
all.
at
It,
all.
like no.
And I was talking about the case with like Ty and Erica actually, and Erica said that on his social media, he regularly used to talk about his alter ego, and his alter ego liked killing people. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's just concerning. Like, mm. But again, there's no hardcore evidence. Like everything with
Yeah.
the social media and his tour and the music and whatever else is circumstantial at best, which is why he hasn't been brought up on charges. I really hope that they can find something concrete because
Yeah.
that little girl deserves justice.
Right.
Like she was so young, she never even had a chance. But that starts us off into our true crime. Tina's going to be kicking off our true crime season. What case do you have for us today, girl?
Okay. So this is called the Lost Girls, the Long Island serial killer.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is a Netflix documentary. So if any of you want to watch it, you can. Um, it's about the Gilgo Beach murders. Gilgo Beach is in Long Island. It's like one of their, I want to say, most known beaches there because it's along the side of their like highway, their main highway.
Mm,
Um, so this dates back to May of 2010.
okay.
Right.
That's recent.
It is recent. Um, and a woman by the name of Shannon Gilbert, um, you hear her call the police, frantic, saying that somebody's trying to kill her. Like there's these people there chasing her and they're trying to kill her.
What the She
Yeah.
called the police?
Yes. She called the police. That was it. They tried to ask her her location, but she was too frantic to answer that. And then the call just kind of drops and that's it.
Mm. Oh no.
She yeah, she was not heard from since.
Damn.
Yeah. And then they the Long Island police go to, I guess, where the call pinged last, and it was along that highway. And so they interviewed a driver. She apparently was an escort, right?
Okay.
Coming out of New York City. She had a driver that picked her up from New York City and took her to Long Island to go meet with a client. He stated that he dropped her off at the client's house and he waited in the car for her. Shortly after, maybe like 10 minutes, she comes out just
Oop.
running and screaming. Um, he tried to ask her if she was okay. She obviously didn't answer. She just kept going. She didn't get in the car. She was just running. So he followed her and tried to get her to come into the car again so that they can leave. But for some reason, she didn't want to. So he ended up
Mm.
leaving. Um, and that was the last time he's heard and seen her.
Mm.
Um, so her mother reported that um, I guess she was missing, and that ignited a search in the area that she was last seen on, which was that highway. So there was marsh right there, and I guess upon digging up to see she was buried there or something, I don't know, they came across a body.
Mm.
Hmm. And then they started digging some more and they came across two, three,
Oh my.
four bodies.
Oh my god.
Yes. All within the same general area. They were like literally kind of placed right next to each other. Um, so that warranted them to call them the Gilgo Four because it was found on the Gilgo beach. Um, So then after that, over the next year or so, they would begin to find more um,
Mm.
remains. But these remains that they found, they were a little ways away, so they weren't buried right next to the bodies. And they also weren't full bodies themselves. They were
Mm.
like parts. So it was like torsos. Um, I think no, it was mainly torsos,
What the?
and then yeah, in
It
a
wasn't full
park, it
bodies.
wasn't a full body. The remains
Oh
that they found a
no.
year after was not full
Oh
bodies.
my god.
In a park that was like miles away from this beach, they find more parts. Now they're digging up arms and legs.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So the thing is that the four whole bodies that were found, they were all sex workers.
Damn.
They at some point they were able to ID who they were, and um, they reached out to their relatives to inform them that their body was found or whatever. But the thing is that this whole investigation wasn't really taken seriously because of the fact that they were sex workers,
I mean, they
right?
never are, but in the year 2010,
Yeah,
seriously? I understand in
yeah,
like the 70s just because they didn't have the resources. 2010, we sure fucking had the resources.
right. So, but it took them a while to actually identify the bodies. It took a few years.
I mean,
So,
that would make sense considering they're like finding scattered body parts.
right. But the thing is that with um the bodies that they found, they went missing years prior,
Oh,
like 2008, 2009, and they're
oh.
just now being discovered in December of 2010.
Mm.
And then the remains of other bodies were being discovered in 2011. So, these families have gone years knowing that their sister or their daughter, sometimes mother, like all these women had children as
Oh
well.
my god.
Yeah. Um they're just there, distraught because they haven't heard from their relative in years, and they all knew that the last they heard from them was that they were going to New York, but they
Mm.
didn't know that obviously they were going to New York to, you know, handle
Be
escort
Yeah, I was
jobs.
about to say to be escorts.
Yeah. Um so then what else? So with one of the women in particular, her name was Amber Lynn Costello. She lived with roommates. She had two men as roommates. She what's different about her situation is that the man always came to her house whenever her roommates wouldn't be there.
Mm.
Um and one night the guy came there. I'm assuming it was a different guy, but he came there, and then I think he wanted to have sex, and she ended up not wanting to do that. And then there was a verbal altercation, and her two roommates, like she's calling for them at this point, they come out and they see the man. They literally described him as a giant. He was really tall but also really big.
Mm.
Um and they said that he turned to Amber and was um like I'll see you again. Like that's all he said, and he left.
Nah,
Um
I gotta move.
yeah. And what's crazy is that that night they either that night or a few days after, they informed the police of this man. They
Mm.
gave a full description, and they gave the model of the car that he was driving at the time. and they did nothing with that. And
Mm.
then lo and behold, some years later, she is found dead.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And obviously, they were upset because they were like, they literally gave a physical description of this man,
Mm-hmm.
and they were not looking for him whatsoever. They kind of just dropped the ball, let it go to the wayside. Like,
Mm.
so,
Honestly, I'm not surprised.
me either. Um, because I don't know. I feel like sometimes I don't even know how to say this like properly. Sometimes, like depending on the officer, like they really don't give a fuck at all.
Right. No, I was gonna say it's like I don't know how to say this properly. A cab.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I swear to you, that's the one thing that's common across every single case that I have ever seen. Like where it's like a serial killer or something like that. The police are lackluster. Like they're not looking. They don't care, and it's usually because the victims are like sex workers, runaways, or people of
Mm-hmm.
color.
Right. And it was like this is very unfortunate because obviously these women had families that cared about them, that put out missing persons reports, and like nothing came of it. Um, so then what else? The main detective and the police chief at the time, they ended up retiring, and they put someone else in place as the new police chief that prior to that he was essentially a dirty ass cop. Like,
Mm,
yeah. So now they have this man in the highest position, and he's still letting shit like slide because
mm,
obviously he really does not care. Like, he kept saying, oh yeah, we're looking into it or whatever, but nothing came, no actions came from his words. It was just
mm.
all bullshit. And the lead, not the lead, but the district attorney at the time too, they were essentially in cahoots. They were like this
Oh,
because the district attorney knew him since he was basically a young boy.
man. I don't give a
So
fuck
he,
about none of that shit,
right.
please.
So he was the one that like offered him the position, basically, like told
Mm,
him to go in for it, and he got it. Um, at that point, when I was watching that, I'm like, he's for sure the killer. Like the new police chief, I'm like, there's no
mm-hmm.
way. He's already slimy as fuck, and he has had a violent history. I'm like, it has to be him. Like, it makes sense. Like, they're really not digging into it because it's him. But obviously, I was wrong. It was not him.
Damn.
But um, so then after a while, there was this guy. He was a drug addict, basically. He broke into the police chief's home. He didn't know it at the time that that was his home. But he ended up finding a bag that had like paraphernalia, basically, which like showed that, he was into drug use. He was into like dealing with escorts. So that alone forced him to like resign from his position. He had to go to jail or some shit for that. I don't know. So then they put a new person in charge, and it was a woman. And that
Okay.
she obviously was taking it more seriously. And what had happened? They caught a break in the case, but I don't remember exactly how. But basically, they were able to identify that car
Mm.
that the man was driving years ago that the
Jeez.
two roommates told them about. They identified it, and then they traced the car back to a man named Rex Heuermann. And lo and behold, because they started doing like pinging locations of where the women's phones were last pinged in Long Island, and they cross referenced that where his phones were being pinged in Long Island. And of course, it matched with
Mm.
every single one. And then they find out that this man works in New York City
Mm.
as an architect.
Okay.
So they started surveilling him, and I think they said it took like 11 months or some shit. Like they wanted to be, yeah, that was insane to me. I'm like, what? Okay. But they wanted to be sure, like beyond a shadow of a doubt, that this was the man that murdered all these women. So, um, they needed DNA evidence, and he threw out a pizza box and it
Mm.
had crust in it. So they took that, they cross referenced that with DNA found on, I think it was two of the women's bodies. Um, and then it basically said that 99.99% of the
Oh,
population like ruled out except for him.
okay.
So it was a certified match. So with that, they were able to arrest him
Mm.
because his DNA was found on their bodies. And he was charged with the murders of the four girls that they found, the four whole bodies. But when it came to the ones that had like the missing
Yeah.
parts,
Yeah.
that one is a little bit tricky because there wasn't anything to connect him with those. But
Yeah. I was about to say, I'm surprised that they found DNA, considering he cut up some of the bodies.
yeah, I think they found a piece of his hair on one of their bodies and something else. I guess that he used to wrap one of their bodies in.
Mm.
His DNA was on that or something, and that's how they tied him to those. Um, but they didn't tie him to the others. But what's crazy about this whole thing is that he was arrested of July of 2023.
Holy shit.
This started in May of 2010. So it's been
Oh
13
my
years
god.
since the start of this whole investigation. And at the end, he the trial is still pending. This man has yet to be put on trial for the murders of these four women.
But it's been 2 years
Yeah,
since he got arrested.
yeah.
What the fuck?
I have no idea. Like there's DNA evidence. There's obviously cell records of where he pinged at every location that those women were last pinged at. They have his fucking car that matches the description that one of the women gave. He looks like the physical description that her two roommates gave. And all of this is showing obviously he was the one that murdered these four women, and yet his trial is still pending.
That is so weird.
Right.
I wonder I wonder if it's just like legal bullshit.
It probably is. And he obviously pled not guilty, which is
Mm.
crazy to me because, again, your DNA was found on two of these bodies. I don't know how you,
Right.
like, not. Okay. But yeah, that was really it. And then back to the woman that started this whole thing, Shannon Gilbert. They found her body. It was near, it was on Gilgo Beach as well, not near the four bodies. But the thing that was different was that she, she was near the water, and they speculate that she drowned. Like she wasn't murdered, she just drowned.
Mm.
Obviously, her mother wasn't happy about that because she was like, there's no way that she drowned if she, made this phone call saying that there's someone trying to kill her and things like that. Um, and the sad thing is that when they finally arrested the man, she was no longer here. She had passed a few years before then. So like she didn't even get any type of justice for her daughter.
Damn.
Yeah. But that's really it. Like they claim that
I'm
he has been operating for over 30 years in Long Island under everyone's noses.
30 years.
Cuz some of the remains dated way back to like I don't know, 19, like late 80s,
What the
early
oh
90s.
my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
I was not expecting you to bring like an ongoing case.
I didn't think it was going to be ongoing until I got to the end and they said the trial was still pending. I'm like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
This is crazy.
Ooh. Damn.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, we're only about an hour in. I'm not going to hold you. Tina, the case I have for you is a lot. Would you care if I start it? So, the case the case that I'm going to be telling you about, Ty, I don't know if you're still here. Ty, me and Ty trauma bonded watching everything about this freaking case, bro.
I remember you telling me, like, obviously not everything, but just a small snippet. I'm like, I need to know what the fuck happened because this is crazy.
So, I watched the documentary Abducted in Plain Sight. It's on Hulu. It's also on Tubi. If you don't have Hulu, it's also on Tubi. So you could watch it. I watched this documentary because the premise of it sounded crazy. It's basically a little girl that gets kidnapped by her next door neighbor twice.
I don't, like I said before, the first time, yeah, okay. How did
The
it
second
happen the
time,
second time?
right, right. So I will preface this by saying that they lived in like a small Mormon community. So some of the stuff that happens throughout this is a little weird but can be explained because they're Mormon. I
Okay.
think I took notes on my phone. I did. I literally took bullshit ass notes. But uh the case the like this really all starts back in June of 1972.
Damn, that's when my mama was born.
um, in Pocatello, Idaho, which I had to look up
Mm.
what states bordered Idaho because throughout this case, you will hear that they are in Salt Lake City, Utah a lot. And I was like, is does Utah border Idaho? Apparently, yes, it does. So that helped.
Those Midwest states that I just have no clue about.
Yeah, no clue. So it starts in 1972, Pocatello, Idaho, where we are introduced to the Brobergs, where the little girl that unfortunately ends up getting kidnapped, her name is Jan Broberg. She has her parents, Marianne and Bob, and then she has two younger sisters, Karen and Susan.
Okay.
And one day at church, her mom notices that a new family has arrived at their church. Marianne is the one that like basically introduces her daughter to the man that is going to torment her for the next like 20 years.
20 years.
This went on for a while.
What the fuck?
So Marianne met the Birchtolds. They were also like what they thought was like an upstanding Mormon family in the church. They had just moved there and she wanted to be hospitable, so she like, introduced them to her family. And Bob Birchtold, his name was also Bob. I've also I Tina, when I tell you I watched the documentary. I watched the docu series with Ty because it gave me more information. I read the book
Damn.
because there were so many questions that I had that
Mm-hmm.
not just watching the documentary could go through. So Bob Berchtold, that Marianne says that they didn't call him Bob, she called him Robert. Meanwhile, the kids called him Brother B, because apparently that is a thing within the Mormon community, is that you refer to one another as brother whatever and sister whatever. It's usually their last name, so they called him Brother B. Um so Brother B had his wife, her name is Gail, and they have 5 children together.
Damn.
That him like throughout the course of this case and the stuff that he has done blew my mind that this was a married man with 5 children.
Oh, you would be surprised.
Like, yeah, but he so again, it's 1972,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the first things that Brother B did was, after meeting Marianne and getting acquainted with their family, he sent them a fruit basket. But
Okay.
and like Bob, like Jan's father, was like, "Oh my gosh, like this is so like swell." Yeah, like he's like, "This is like a really upstanding, nice gesture from our new neighbor." And what I don't know why they didn't find this strange, because the fruit basket was inside their home.
You know what this is giving? I don't remember what it was. It was a movie that was like this. Was it called The Invitation? I don't know. They had a crazy ass neighbor, and that also happened. There was a present found inside the home.
I mean,
It's like,
they
excuse me, sir.
they said they never locked their doors because this was a Mormon community in the 70s, which tracks. But I don't
Right.
know. Me personally, I would be so weirded out, because like a fruit basket is a nice gesture and it
Yeah.
was to thank them for like welcoming them into the neighborhood. I would be so weirded out that it's inside my house already though.
Right. And
So,
also, like, I just met you.
right.
If it was somebody I knew for a few years, cool. Like, next time, like, I don't know, leave her on the porch or some shit. But, like,
Yeah.
somebody that I just met, no.
Yeah. And so they like the families get really cozy together. Like some of the kids are the same age as like the three sisters of Jan, Karen, and Susan. So, and Jan even says in the documentary, which she is alive, by the way. She did not get murdered throughout this case. She is alive.
Good.
She is in the documentary. Hell, she's even in the docu series. Um, but she says that everybody in the Brobergs had a best friend in the Birchtolds. So like, it's like mom made best friends with the wife. Bob made friends with B. I don't remember who she made friends with, but like everybody had a best friend with each other's family. Like these two families became very close, and this is a detail that will be so important for later. Apparently, throughout the 2 years before the kidnapping, because this starts in 1972. The first kidnapping is not until October of 1974. So within those 2 years, Brother B has been regularly telling the kids of alien abduction stories, alien sighting stories, like crop circle stories. Like he is regularly talking to the kids about aliens.
Okay.
Like odd detail, but it is important for later.
Yeah.
So, flash forward flash forward to 1974. Jan is 12 years old. Brother B has been driving the girls to school every morning for the past 5 years. So he rounds up all 8 kids. Well, more like, because I think the two youngest ones were like a toddler and a baby. So more
Hmm.
like 6 kids, and would drive them to school every morning. He has been doing this for the last 2 years. And like they thought it was fine, everybody was cool with it. And um brother B is like, Jan, can't wait to take you horseback riding later. And she's super excited because she's like a horse girl, she loves horseback riding. So yeah, like, so B asked Bob when he could come and pick her up to take her horseback riding, and Bob is like, no. We It's like she has a piano lesson, and then is like she needs some family time, because at this point Bob is getting a little weary of brother B. Like, they're spending so much time with each other's families that he's like, our family needs to spend time with our family.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny about why he becomes weary, but we'll like get there. I need to look up when this it's Christmas time. There we go. Um the because he's weary about him because like the Christmas before, they have Mormons have this thing at their church called like the green and gold ball. Apparently it is like a dance for the congregation to like better get to know each other. It's only a
Hmm.
thing for the adults. But uh Marianne and brother B were a little too cozy at the green and gold ball. One of the other like brothers at the church told Bob that he's like, he sure is at your house a lot, isn't he? So Bob is now weary of brother B.
Hmm.
Like, he hasn't said any suspicions. They were grinding and shit. They weren't. It was the 70s. They were slow dancing, which is why brother B was like, "What's going on here? Why are you slow
Wait,
dancing
so
with
are
my
they?
wife?"
Oh, wait. So it wasn't Brother B and his wife slow dancing together? It was
No, it was brother B and Marianne, which is Jan's mom.
Bob's.
Yeah.
Okay,
So, which is
okay.
Bob's wife. So,
Oh,
because in brother B's wife, Gail, was just off in a corner by herself. She was described as being shy and like not very outgoing. So she went to the ball, but like she did not really enjoy herself. And brother B danced with like everybody but his wife.
that's crazy.
But yeah, somebody said something to Bob, and Bob is now weary. He has not accused his wife of anything, but he wants his family to be spending less time with their family.
Yeah.
So again, like October 1974, he like B like ask Bob to when he could take Jan, like pick up Jan to take her horseback riding, and he's like, no. So B B then calls Marianne immediately after Bob says no, like a kid, and was like, "Hey, when can I pick Jan up?" And she was like, "Oh well, she has piano lessons, so if you don't mind picking her up from there, that's fine." So she calls Bob at work, and she was like, "Hey, I just let Bob know, like not Bob, brother B know when he could pick Jan up, and he's gonna take her directly from piano lesson to go horseback riding." And Bob is pissed. He's like, "I already talked to B. Why did he call you when I already told him no?" And
Yeah.
she's like, "Well, I already told him yes." He's like, "Well, call him back and tell him no. She needs to be home. She needs to spend time with our family." So she's like, "Okay, whatever." And she like picks up the kids from school. Jan's all excited to be going horseback riding,
Hmm.
and she was like, "Actually, your father said no." And Jan's upset. But when they get home, brother B is at their house.
All right, kick him out. Like, what?
Brother B is at their house, and and she was like, "Well, you weren't supposed to like even pick her up from here. He's like, oh, I know, but I'm just so excited. And she's like, well, Bob already said no. He's like, you know how Bob gets. He's like, she's been looking forward to this all week. Like, let me just take her horseback riding. And she's there and she's begging her mom to let her go horseback riding, which, by the way, this is also is not weird because he has taken the kids on trips to Marianne's like brother's ranch to go horseback riding. So this is not like an uncommon thing, which is why she's not like having her heckles up for this being strange. So so she's like, okay, fine, but you better have her home before Bob gets home. Basically, as like, okay, whatever, she really wants to do this. It's just horseback riding. Just have her home before her dad finds out, type shit.
Mm-hmm.
So he takes her to her piano lesson, and he like waits the hour and then picks her up from her piano lesson. When he picks her up from the piano lesson, he is like, hey, don't forget to take your allergy pills, which he then pulls out a case, like a small metallic case with like pills in it, and says that it's her allergy medication. Um, it was not allergy medication.
Right.
It was sleeping pills because she said after taking that medication, she knocked out. Like, she said she doesn't remember the ride, she doesn't remember the ranch, she doesn't remember how she got there. Because when she wakes up strapped to a bed, and she had no idea where she was.
Mm.
Yeah. So this brings us to the first kidnapping. In which, by the way, the first kidnapping was 35 days long.
What?
So when she wakes up, she is scared. She's in the dark. She has no idea where she is. She is tied down to a bed. And in in the background, there is like an intercom that is just repeating this message. She said this message repeated for hours. Hours. And it's like some weird fucked up like robotic voice being like, female companion. Female companion. You have been chosen. We are aliens. Our names are Zeta and Zethra. Our planet is dying, and you have been chosen to help us repopulate our planet. And she said that this played for literally 48 hours. She would like wake up, be terrified, listen to this message. Oh, yeah, no. Listen to this message for hours until she was too exhausted from trying to break out of her restraints, go back to sleep, wake up, and it's still fucking playing.
No, thank you.
And within this message, it's telling her that she has been chosen because her mom is her real mom, but her dad is not her real dad. Her dad is an alien. So that is why she was chosen to repopulate their planet, because she is half alien. And if she does not go along with this mission, her dad was going to be killed. Her younger, like her sister Karen, will go blind, and her youngest sister will take her place. Mind you,
What?
her youngest sister is 8 years old, and her eternal soul will be vaporized. I'm not gonna lie, that part made me laugh because she was like, "What does that?" She's like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "Girl, what?" Everything else they said is not like scary. Your soul, your eternal soul being vaporized. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. She's 12, and I'm not gonna lie. When I was watching the documentary, I legitimately thought this girl was stupid, because imagine being 12 and you get a message being like, "You're an alien. We're aliens," and you wholeheartedly believe it. I thought she was mad dumb. low key. Like I thought she was mad stupid. And then we watched the docu-series and found out that he had been telling them stories about aliens for the last 2 years of her life. Not gonna lie, when she cried at the concept of her eternal soul being vaporized, that lasted. Yo, me and Ty are going to hell together, baby. That's why you didn't get raptured. I see you.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like or nah, because she really was fucked up about her eternal soul being vaporized, like more than like the other stuff that shit like the alien said. I was like, damn, girl. But I digress. Um, I like. I I thought she was dumb, but apparently, like, no, she had just been like conditioned. Like, homie's been playing the long game for this fucking kidnapping. And like one of the last messages that she gets before she wakes up and she's not restrained is that it's like it's like we have selected for you a male companion. He will teach you what to do. And like that's it. So she's scared out of her wits. She finally wakes up and she's not restrained. So she tries like looking around and she finds like some like a water and like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And like I said, this had been going on for 2 days. So I don't think she's eaten or had anything to drink within those 2 days of her listening to this fucking intercom repeat the same message over and over again.
Yeah.
So she goes like she like eats the food and then she goes to like the front of the RV because that's what she's being held in. They're in a motor home, like a one of those like long ones that you see on the road. And she finds brother B sitting there and he is fucked up. He is covered in cuts. He's bleeding. He looks like he's been scrapping for real. Like he is fucked up. And she starts crying. She's like, "Oh my god, brother B, what happened? What happened to you?" And I'm not going to go hold you. Give that man an Oscar because this man is an actor. Because he was sitting there pretending to be knocked out and she like is like, she's crying, she touches his arm and all of a sudden he's like, "Jan? Oh my god, Jan, what happened?" Sir. Tina.
Nah. Nah. Are you telling me he put them cuts and shit? He fucked himself
Yeah,
up?
he fucked
To like,
himself up.
nah. Bro, he's committed to the bit. That's crazy.
Bro, he fucked himself up.
That's crazy.
So he's like, "Oh my god, Jam, what happened?" And she's like, "I don't know, where are we?" And he's like, "The last thing I remember is them stopping us." And she's like, "Them?" He's like, "I don't know. They were like they were like aliens. They stopped our car. They said they weren't gonna let us it's like let us leave unless I gave them to you, and I wasn't gonna do that, so I fought them." He's like, "But unfortunately they were too strong for me. They overpowered me." And I don't really know what happened after that. I woke up here. So she starts bawling, telling him about the messages that they got, like she had gotten for the last 2 days. And he was like, "I've gotten a message too. They did tell me that I am the male companion." And she's like, "But what does that mean?" Like, because obviously it's the 70s and she's a girl being raised in the Mormon community. That girl has no idea what repopulate the planet means.
Right.
Dante, he said overpowered and then they left him chilling. Tough. um, and he was like, "No, Google did not exist yet." No. So, um, so she was like, "What does this mean?" He's like, "Don't he's like, don't worry about it, Dolly. I just know that the message that they gave me is that we have to drive south.
What?
Yeah. So he starts driving this RV. He starts driving it to Mexico. And I want to give a little bit of context before the kidnapping because there is stuff that happened in between. And mm, Tina. So what happens a little bit in between is like I said, the families are very close to one another. They would regularly have sleepovers and stuff at Brother B's house. So they would sleep in the backyard on one of those like mega trampolines, like all the kids together, like sleep on that. And she said one time while they were doing that, she woke up and her panties are around her ankles.
Yo?
She said that Brother B was next to her, but she was like, what the what, what happened? Why is it like this? And he was like, "Oh, you must have just been having a bad dream. You were tossing and turning so much. It's like you must have just like taken them off." And she was like, that made sense because what didn't make sense was that he would want to hurt me, because
Right.
she said at the time she viewed this man as like a second father. So like that had happened. And um there, I forget whose birthday it was. It was somebody's birthday, so they decided to take a trip to Seattle. But they wanted Jan to come with them on the trip to Seattle, like not the entire family, just Jan.
Mm-mm.
Like him, his wife, their 5 kids, and Jan.
Nah.
And Bob was like, "No, the fuck, why?" And like the day that they were supposed to leave for Seattle, his wife Gail shows up on their porch and was like, it's like, "Are you sure that Jan can't come?" And Bob was like, "Yes, she's not fucking going, no." And Jan was like, and not Jan, I'm sorry, Gail was like, "Okay, well, if that's the case, then we're not going to Seattle." And Bob was like, what do you mean?" And she was like, "Well, their son, their oldest son, I don't know what his like real name is. In the docuseries, they changed the names of all the kids that they had together. In the docuseries, his name is Jerry. Jerry like really wanted Jan to come. He has like the biggest crush on her. And if she doesn't come, like we're not gonna go. Like, because Brother B,
That's crazy.
yeah, Brother B is like so upset for his son that he's just canceling the trip, which for one
Which
doesn't
is
even,
insane.
that doesn't even sound real. Because what do you
Right.
mean? What do you mean like your 38-year-old husband is throwing a tantrum that my like 11-year-old is not going on a family trip with you? But Bob was an easy target and he felt like an asshole, so he let Jan go with them. So this is the first time that Jan said that she remembers something like not right happening with him, because she said that they like had gone to dinner, but Jan was like loopy at the dinner. Like she wasn't talking any sense. She was like falling asleep at the table. Everybody was like concerned, and I'm sorry, Brother B was like, this, it's like, this child is not feeling all right. I'm going to take her back to the hotel. So he takes her back to the hotel that they were staying at. Jan said that she like was just mostly asleep, but she does remember waking up at some point and seeing him standing there completely naked. She doesn't remember anything else like besides that. And Tina, this next part is going to piss you off. This next part is going to piss you off. So every time that they have church, they have like confession. I guess Brother B confessed that he had done this to Jan at church. So the church knew that he was doing something and decided to not tell the family. They sent that
Why the fuck not?
they sent that man to therapy because apparently at this time being a pedophile was looked at as like a mental illness that you could work through and not, you know, what it is. So they found that man a therapist. And that therapist basically told him that he needs to be doing like some kind of exposure therapy. So he goes over to the Broberg's house and is like, "Hey, um I like have this affliction where I like become obsessed with little girls. So I'm in therapy. I'm trying to get better. But part of my therapy is that I have to listen to these tapes and lie in bed with your daughter while she's sleeping."
What in the actual fuck?
Yeah. And they let him.
No. What?
Yeah.
Nah. No. You're telling me this man went to their house and literally confessed being obsessed with little girls, and fast forward to however long after,
Yeah.
the mother lets him take her daughter to her piano lesson and then to the ranch to ride horses?
Yes.
Are you fucking
I'm
serious?
so serious. They I these people are genuinely stupid. I don't even want to say that they're naive. They're genuinely stupid
And what
because
kind of tapes is he listening
okay, the
to?
tapes are horrendous, by the way. The tapes are awful.
Oh
So
my
the
god.
tapes are like uh the tapes that the therapist made himself, describing him and his wife on vacation. These tapes are explicit. So he's listening to tapes about his therapist and his wife fucking on vacation, lying in bed next to Jan for months. And Marianne is like, "Oh, well, like we weren't comfortable with it, but who
So
are
why'd you say
we?"
yes?
She's like, "Who are we to get in the way of his healing?"
Absolutely not. If it has anything to do with my daughter, my children, no.
Yeah. Did I Ty said them parents were abysmal? Absolutely. And it's funny that in the documentary and interviews that Jan has done, like post all of this coming out, like to talk about her case, she's like begging the internet to not be harsh on her parents. Girl, that man did horrible things to you, but your parents were complicit. They
Right.
let that man do stuff to you. Because not only that, we do find out later too when like the FBI gets involved in this case that before Jan, brother B had targeted two other girls in two other families, and both of those families cut that man out of their life because he was being weird with their daughter. So the fact that the Brobergs were like, "Who are we to get in the way of his healing?"
No.
And mind you, while this is going on, uh, there was like a church trip with some of the parents, and brother B was on it, and so was Marianne. Marianne had started an affair with brother B on this church trip
And this was before
before
Jan
the
got kidnapped?
yes, before the first kidnapping.
But was this after that dance or
Uh,
before?
I, I honestly don't remember if it was before or after the dance,
Uh
but he
huh.
had been laying groundwork down with her, the like with Marianne for a minute.
I don't like, was it just to gain her trust so that he can
Yes,
take her dog?
yes. Like, so, and by the way, their affair was 8 months. And Tina, when I get into this affair, it's going to piss you off more. I hate this mom, actually. like the dad I feel bad for because he's stupid, but he was the only one out of the two of them that was fighting for that girl.
Right.
So we go back to the kidnapping, 1974, and they're driving south. And she honestly, she said that she had a lot of fun up until like he taught her what to do. And I'm not going to lie, give this man an Oscar. Give him an Oscar because that man was an actor. That man was an actor, Tina. They were having lunch, they were having a regular time. He was like, "Hey, don't forget to take your vitamins. The vitamins are sleeping pills. The vitamins are sleeping pills." And then all of a sudden, like the intercom starts playing, and it's like female companion. It is time. Your male companion has been chosen for you. Brother B is your male companion. It is it is time to enact the mission.
Hmm.
And they constantly refer to this as the mission. The mission is for Jan to have a baby by the time she's 16. So, but while this tape is playing, Tina, this man was in the middle of a sentence. He pretended to freeze in time. He stopped talking and held still the entire time that intercom was playing. He was so dedicated to the bit. I don't even blame her for believing it was real now because that shit was crazy. He dead ass went pose. No, he dead ass did because he was in the middle of a sentence, and then all of a sudden he's like, ugh. And like she starts crying. The tape starts playing. She starts shaking him. He doesn't budge.
What?
He doesn't move until that tape stops playing. And he was like, "Oh, what happened, bitch?" I like, bro. The him pretending to freeze in time took me out, bro. Because I ought to beat your ass, honestly. So she said it's time. They said it's time to enact the mission. I don't under like I don't know like. And he's like, it's okay. This is why I'm here. This is why they chose me. Da 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 da. And she said that it was strange because he seemed to genuinely care if she enjoyed it or not.
What?
Yeah. Like he was very afraid of hurting her. She said that he never inserted more than an inch. Like he would only ever do tip because he was afraid of scaring, like of hurting her. And if she wasn't enjoying it, he wasn't going to go further. But this was a daily occurrence pretty much almost the entire 35 days.
What?
She is 12 years old. He probably didn't have that much after that. It's crazy work, Dante. This is crazy work. So, um, which by the way, while this entire thing is going on, Jan's parents suck, bro.
Like, where? First of all, she was already missing for 2 days. Hearing that fucking intercom. Where's the missing person report? Where did like?
So,
Also, the husband and the other family missing too. Hello, they were last seen together. Like, what are we doing?
yeah.
What are we
So,
doing?
so fast, like, rewind actually. Um, it's the day that they got, like, she got kidnapped. Bob gets home from work and he's pissed. And she's like, "Well, Brother B promised me that he would have her home by now. I don't know what's going on." And they wait. It gets to be like 9 o'clock, which, by the way, it was a school night. It was like a Monday or Tuesday night.
It's crazy.
It gets to be like 9 o'clock, and they call Gail. Gail is freaking out because her husband hasn't come home.
Right.
She's 5 kids. Her husband hasn't come home. So they're like, "Gail, where is he?" And she's like, "I have no idea. He hasn't called." So she ends up going over to their house, and again, it's 9 p.m. Bob is like, I'm calling the police. And Gail is like, no, please don't call the police.
Why not?
Right. She so this is where I say you have to know a little bit about Mormons. She said she asked them not to call the police over him being like 2 hours late. She's like, I'm sure he'll show up. We don't want to cause a scene. And that's very much like a mentality within the like Mormon community of like not causing a scene, like not, disturbing status quo essentially. And she's like, they're only like 2 hours late. So Bob is like, okay, fine, but if they're not home soon, I'm calling. So he like folded immediately, and it gets to be like a couple of more hours have passed. It's like damn near midnight, and he was like, no, fuck this, I'm calling the police. And she's like, no, please don't call the police. And the two of them start arguing because I get that your husband is missing, but our 12-year-old daughter is missing. It's been 6 hours. Where are they? If they like had problems with the car, he would have called by now.
Mm-hmm.
So Marianne decides to take the phone, and she calls the police, but she does not report her daughter missing. Instead, she gives a description of Brother B's car and asks if there's been any accident reports with that car description. And the police tell her no. So she's like, okay, thank you, and like hangs up the phone. And she's like, okay, so they haven't gotten in an accident, so they should be home soon. Mind you, it's been 6 hours. So they're obviously freaking out, and they're asking Gail literally anything about where he could have taken her, like da 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 da. And she's like, well, it's like you guys don't see B the way I see B, because apparently he has been battling like bipolar disorder or like bipolar depression. So she's like, when you guys see him, he's up, he's happy, he's good. With me, he's like down, he's moody, he's miserable, he doesn't want to talk to anybody. And she's like, we tried like finding something to help. So we ended up taking a trip down to Mexico a couple of months ago. And while there, Brother B found a little girl that he wanted to adopt because she was like so poor, like she was so destitute. And he's like, this is my calling, like I can help this child, da 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 da. But the birth mom last second pulls out and is like, no, I can't do this, I can't like have you guys like take my daughter. And Gail is over here like, I can't believe that it's like that woman wouldn't let her daughter live a better life. And Marianne's like, well, yeah, any mom would have a hard time letting their child leave and do that. So she's like, he's been so down ever since. And he sold his furniture store because at this time he owned a furniture store. He's like, and he got a motorhome, and he's just been like working on the motorhome. So she's like, that's been pretty much preoccupying his time. I didn't even know when he got it, and he's just keeping that down at our storage unit. And they were like, okay, take me to your storage unit. So Gail takes Marianne with her. They go, and they're not. Gail doesn't have a key to get into the storage unit anymore. It's like they changed the locks on it. So they aren't able to get in. They have to wait until Monday to to check if the motorhome is there or not. But they get back. It's super late. Gail goes home to her kids to try to get some sleep because at this point it's like well past midnight. Um, and Bob is like, if she's not back by like Sunday night, I'm reporting her missing. I don't care. So they wait. They they go like it gets to be like Sunday night. They call they call the police and was going to report their daughter missing, and they're like, but you know who she's with? And they were like, yeah. And they're like, do you think he would hurt your daughter? And they're like, no, absolutely not. He wouldn't hurt our daughter. And they're like, okay, well, then you can't report her missing because you know who she's with.
But the issue is that they haven't come back in days.
Right. So they're like, if you really, it's like, if you really like need to report this, uh call the FBI. So that's what they do. They call the FBI, and the FBI, they're met with a message that is like, the office is closed right now. If this is an emergency, call this number. And it's like to their FBI office in like Montana. It's like, otherwise, call us back on Monday. So they were like, okay. So they called on Monday because they didn't want to call the FBI office in Montana because they were like, well, I don't want to cause a stir.
But it's been a week at this point now.
Like it's been like 3 days, but yeah, like
Oh,
it's still like
still, yeah.
it's your 12-year-old daughter has been gone for 3 days and we still haven't reported her missing. So it gets to Monday, they report it, and they like kick in the overdrive, like because they're like, what the fuck? Because I mean that's like the whole premise of like the first 48 hours are like the most crucial, and we waited.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So now the FBI is working on the case to find Brother B. The FBI like goes to the storage unit and with Gail, and the motorhome's gone. They're like, where could he have possibly gone? Nobody knows. So they drive down to Mexico. Tina, they get legally married in Mexico. Because apparently the age of consent for marriage is like 12.
What?
Yeah, so Jan and Brother B are legally married in the country of Mexico. Which, oh my gosh. So when they finally find them, they end up spending the night in like a Mexican jail cell before Jan's parents could come and like pick her up. But before she's separated from Brother B and back with her parents, he gives her like 4 rules that she has to follow. The first rule is absolutely tell nobody about the mission. Nobody can know about the mission. They won't understand until it's done. Second of all, no men. You cannot interact with any men in your life, period.
Not even her father?
Especially not her father. You cannot interact with men. You cannot touch men. It will compromise the mission, and you will be replaced. I honestly forget what the other rules are, because it's basically just reinforcing that if she doesn't comply, her father will be killed, her younger sister will go blind, and her youngest sister will take her place. So after 35 days, they find Jan in Mexico and they bring her home. And mind you, the reason why they got caught is because Brother B started calling his brother, like his actual blood brother, his name is Joe, and is like, hey, we want to come back, but you have to convince Jan's parents to let us get legally married. That way I won't be facing kidnapping charges when I come back to the States.
What on what earth
Right.
does he think that they would just allow him to legally marry their daughter?
I mean, they allowed him to sleep in the bed with her every damn night.
Right, yeah. But still, like, after all of this, though, like,
No, for sure. For sure. Um and so obviously, like, they call Gail, they get Gail to talk to the brother because she knows him, and was
hmm
like, I'm not gonna lie, it was mad funny but also fucked up because she didn't like, and she's like, Joe, it's Gail. Did Bob leave you any money? Because mind you, he up and left his wife and 5 children for 35 days. This woman does not
hmm
have a job. He was the sole provider for this family, and he left them high and dry. And he was like, no, Gail, I'll stop by and like help you guys out. You know, like, she doesn't even say anything about Jan. I was like, damn, Gail, I mean, you're not wrong, but fuck. You know that's not why we're on the phone with this man. And that's when Marianne gets on the phone and was like, please, Joe, we just want our daughter back. She's 12. If you hear from him, please let us know. And then he wasn't going to tell her this about the marriage thing because he thought it was ridiculous. So he told the parents this, that like he like refuses to come back unless they agree. And she was like, well, absolutely not. And the FBI was like, no, 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 no. Just lie. We need him to be on the phone so um we could trace the phone lines and figure out where he is. And that's basically exactly what happens. They tap Joe's phone lines because Brother B calls him back for the answer of what Jan's parents decided on whether or not they should, like, they'll get married or not. And he lied to him saying that, like, yeah, they will. And he was like, oh, really? Like, he was like surprised. He's like, oh man, okay, cool, like, but they weren't on the phone for like very long. And Joe even asked him, he's like, B, just like, Bob, just bring her home, man. Like, she's a kid. Just tell me where you're at. I'll pick you guys up. And he's like, Joe, I am not telling you where I am on the phone. I don't know who's listening. And like hangs up on him. And it's like a very tense moment of whether or not they were on the phone long enough to trace the line, but they
hmm
were. That's how they found them in Mexico. So they bring Jan back. And I'm not gonna lie, Jan is a totally different girl now. I'm not surprised in the slightest.
hmm
But yeah, Jan's a different girl now. And Bob is hurt because he said before all of this, he's always been very affectionate with his daughters. Like, he would regularly hug and kiss them. So when he tried to hug Jan and she physically recoiled from him, he was hurt. But he was like, she's been through a lot. I shouldn't push it, like, type of thing. Which, good on him for not doing that, because I'm sure it would have been terrible. But yeah, so obviously they bring Jan back. Jan has like a hard time like refitting in at school and stuff. And they're pressing kidnapping charges on Brother B. And Tina, when I tell you they fucked this case, they fucked it up so bad. So, for one, a problem with this case is that Jan swears up and down that Brother B did not kidnap her.
hmm
Because in her mind, Brother B is also being forced to do this. She wholly blames Zeta and Zethra, these imaginary aliens that Brother B made up, for the kidnapping. She's like, Brother B did not kidnap me, the aliens did. So she wholeheartedly believes that he didn't do this, which is a problem.
Right.
Not only that, they asked her if he did anything to her that was inappropriate, which obviously he did. But at that time, since rule number one was to not tell anybody about the mission, she said no, that he never touched her. Now, the
Mm-hmm.
way she's talking, there's no way they don't plead her insane, right? I mean, she's not the one on trial. She's also 12. So she says that he never touched her. So the mom actually, like, Marianne takes Jan to a gynecologist to like virginity check her, and because it's 1974, the doctor examines her and was like, her hymen's intact, so your daughter is pure as snow. Meanwhile, like, that's not the case.
Right.
Like, it's like he never touched her. So it's Jan saying that nothing happened, Jan saying that she wasn't kidnapped, and also a medical doctor saying that, like, there's no physical evidence that she was abused.
Mm-hmm.
So that's already like huge problem with their case.
Yeah.
The only thing they really have left at this point is uh the them like charging this, and the marriage certificate from Mexico, because they do have the marriage certificate. Tina, when I say they shot this case in the foot and the head, because Gail, after Brother B comes back and he is arraigned, Gail comes over to their house and is like, hey, and they're like, hey, Gail. Like, obviously things are very tense between them.
Mm-hmm.
Gail obviously didn't do anything, but that's her husband. And she was like, you guys are going to drop the charges. And they were like, why would we possibly do that? She's like, you might not know it, but me and Bob, like me and Brother B, have a very open marriage. So if you don't drop the charges, I'm going to let the entire community know that he was fucking your wife and you.
Like, and Bob?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tina!
Excuse me? What?
Tina!
Nah. And then back then, obviously, like how that goes. First of all, they're Mormon. Second of all, like,
Tina!
doing that stuff was like taboo. So,
Tina. Yeah,
no,
they're,
yeah,
yes, the wife is blackmailing them because,
that's
so
crazy.
we cut back to when you know how I said Bob has like been apprehensive. Well,
Mm-hmm.
girl, it was something serious.
Bro, no, that's insane.
So to like try to make things up with Bob, Brother B stops by Bob's job after work because brother Bob owns a flower shop. He's a florist. He stops by. They go to a diner. They grab dinner, and like they're just talking. He said that, like, he didn't always used to follow like the scripture. He didn't always used to be a good Mormon, like whatever else. Like, no, the wife was just the wait. The wife is in Gail, Brother B's wife. Brother, she was not in on it. She unfortunately is one of his victims. and that woman doesn't work. She has 5 kids to take care of, and it's the 70s. He is the
Right.
sole breadwinner. I think she only did this so that way she isn't fucked over,
Mhm.
honestly. Because otherwise, her husband goes to jail, and what? Her and her kids like fucking become homeless. I think that's the only reason why she was blackmailing them. So he takes Bob to a diner and tells him I didn't always used to be a good Mormon. I wasn't always like dedicated to the scripture, and tells him about like traveling abroad, having sex with various women. He taught this man about eating pussy because they're
Oh.
Mormon and they don't do that.
Right.
He was a level 99 gaslighter. No, his charisma points are maxed. This man is a master manipulator. Like this man was playing 4D chess and this family were the pieces. So like he's telling him about like, having sex with like multiple women. He taught him about eating pussy, crazy work. Um and Iona Koji is crazy. And he was like, "What about you, Bob? There's no way like you were always like a good person, like a good Mormon." And Bob is like, "Well, like back when it's like when I was like a boy, me and my friends would, like occasionally just, do what boys do." And he was like, "I don't know, Bob. What do boys do?" And he's like, jerk each other off.
Oh.
And he's like, "I have not done that since then because we were just kids. It was, it didn't mean anything. Like I'm not a homosexual." And he's like, "No, obviously. Obviously." So they finish up at the diner. Uh Brother B is driving them home, and on the drive home, he was like, "Man, I fucking hate my wife. We don't have sex anymore. She's just not appealing to me. Like
Hmm.
he's like, I'm so pent up. I just need a release." And Bob is over here like, "Oh, I hope you could work things out in your marriage." Like he's like, "Come on, man. Like just help me out." And he was like, "What?" He was like, "Bob, like just this one time, like it's just it's just something that boys do." And and bro,
Don't tell me Bob did it.
Bob did it. Tina. Tina.
Bob.
I'm not
Bob.
I'm not gonna hold you. Bob's gay, but it's the 70s and he's a Mormon.
Right. But like, oh my God. What?
Bob a damn fool.
I didn't think Bob was gonna fold, bro.
No, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. Brother B gave very little pressure, bro. He only asked that man like 2-3 times, and Bob
And
was
he
like,
just
and he
folded.
folded.
Bro.
He said, "Just give it a little tug." I'm crying. Not it's SSA. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, Ty. They actually invented a term for this that isn't homosexuality in the Mormon community. They call it same sex affliction.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure there's a whole like fucking reality TV show on TLC about this. Crazy work. But Bob folds and jerks brother off to completion. And Bob, I'm not gonna lie, the way they did it in the docu-series made Bob look like he was forced to do it. And in the documentary, he was like, "I'm ashamed to say this, but yeah, I did it." Well, I guarantee, like, I'm sorry, Bob's gay because he was even not, yeah, to completion. He like he after he did it, he like pulled a handkerchief out from like his coat pocket, like cleaned his shit off, and then he handed the same handkerchief to Bob to clean his hands.
Bro.
Mind you,
Bro.
Bob is also fucking the mom at this point. Remember that?
Yeah.
They've been having an affair for the last 8 months.
Bro. They. No wonder fucking Gail blackmail both of them.
Bro. And I'm not going to hold you. I'm surprised that Gail just casually knew this. You know what I'm saying? Like, but again, she's Mormon. They Dante, I've been saying this, Dante. Dante. He ran through
That's
the whole
insane.
no, dead ass though. He like ran a train on the family. He fucked your
That's crazy.
he fucked your mom, your dad, and you, bro.
That's crazy.
So he don't miss is crazy. So obviously they don't want it getting out that Bob is a homosexual. So they go down to Brother B's lawyer and sign an affidavit that yes, we gave Brother B permission to take our daughter to Mexico. And I'm not going to hold you. Like the Brobergs, like the parents' lawyer, pissed. He cussed them out. He cussed them out. Bob is a god damn it. Yeah, Bob folded immediately. But but yeah, like their lawyer was super pissed. And rightfully so, because we already did not have that great of a case to begin with.
Right.
You two just signed affidavits saying that you gave this man permission to take your daughter to Mexico, knowing damn well that's not true. So he's like, okay, but we still have the marriage certificate. We could we can save this case as long as we can present the marriage certificate. And Bob is like, oh, I sent that back to Mexico. The way that everybody in the room just looked at him. Yeah, Ty crashed out so hard we had to take a break. Ty,
First of all, who told you to send it back?
they were like, why would you do that? And he was like,
Right.
I want to get the marriage annulled. And they can't annul it without the marriage certificate. And they're like, okay, did you make copies? And he was like,
Word.
Tina.
Nah, I see why she got kidnapped a second time. I'm sorry. Her
So,
family.
oh yeah, it was not it. Yeah, Ty crashed out so hard that I think it broke him. He just started laughing. He was laughing for like 5 minutes straight. He didn't even say
No,
nothing.
you have to though, because that shit is insane.
Like, so they have the hearing, and obviously it does not go well because not only did they bring up the affidavits, they brought up like the marriage certificate. The lawyer brought up, and it's like, okay, but if you were really concerned that Brother B was a danger to your daughter, why did you let him sleep in the bed with her every night? You know, like, and what's funny too is that the lawyer, like, when she handed them the affidavits and was like, okay, just sign these, and they were like, why, what does this say? And it's like, oh, it says that you let Brother B like take your daughter to Mexico like fully, that like with your permission. And they were like, oh no, we're not doing that. And she's like, okay, then we can go to trial and we will make sure that you look like incompetent parents that should not be raising children, and we're going to take away your kids. And they were like, oh, so they signed the affidavit. And I'm not gonna hold you. They should have been took away them kids. They should have took away them kids. But they couldn't have that shit going to trial. Cause it really does make them look fucking incompetent, like they shouldn't be raising children. Because they shouldn't.
They shouldn't.
So the hearing happens, and this is gonna be the last part because we're already over on time. The hearing happens, and obviously, like, Bob's pissed. Bob's like banning the girls from even speaking to the Birchhold kids. The kids didn't do anything, but they're not allowed any sort of contact with the family. And the girls are taking it really hard because, like I said, they had a best friend for each person within their family. So now they're not allowed to talk to their best friend anymore. Like, the girls are taking it hard. Marianne's pissed because how could you, like, kidnap my daughter? And she gets a call from Brother B. And she was like, "You vile human being, how dare you?" And he was like, "Marianne, listen to me. Listen to me. I know you have a lot of questions and I'm willing to answer them." And she's like, "I did have a lot of questions because I did want to know why he kidnapped my daughter." And he was like, "Marianne, I'm not going to answer you over the phone. Come see me in person." And this part pissed me off so bad. So bad. So she goes to see him. He's living in a different city now because as this trial is going on, um, Gail has filed for divorce. So he is moved out of their house and he is now living in this RV in another town. So Marianne goes to go see Brother B. And mind you, this is the same RV that he had held her daughter in. And he was like, "Come inside, let's have a chat." And she was like, "I can't believe you. I'm so angry with you. Like, why would you do this?" And he was like, "Marianne, I know you're mad at me, but the entire time I was with Jan, I was picturing it was you." Tina. Tina.
Nah. The way this man be talking is crazy.
Bro, he's like, "The entire time I was with her, I was picturing you."
That's weird.
He was like, it should have been you.
So why
We
wasn't it?
because he's lying.
Bro,
so,
pissing me off.
so 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 he's like, "It should have been you. We should have run away together." Anytime like Jan was in the kitchen like cooking food for me, I was picturing that it was you. And she folded, didn't she? She folded like a lawn chair. She
Stop.
folded like some fresh,
Stop.
clean laundry.
Stop.
And
She went there to get answers and she ended up fucking him.
yeah. And she said this is the first time that she actually had sex with him
Oh.
after the kidnapping. This is the first time that they went all the way.
They pissing me off.
This is the first time that they went all the way. And I'm not going to hold you when I say I hate this woman, because it's one thing to see it in the docuseries. In the documentary, watching Marianne remember this, she remembers it fondly.
I bet she do.
Like, you could see on her face that this was a nice memory for her.
I don't see how.
I mean, look, I guess Brother D was laying down pipe. I don't know.
He had to
I said
be.
Brother D. I'm so sorry.
Bro.
And that is where I'll leave us because, like I said, this case is a lot and we're not even through to the second kidnapping. Not it caught on. I'm Ty. Not because he
Bro,
really running through the family, bro.
right. That's probably why Bob folded too. He probably had a little feel, was like, yeah.
Like, for all these years later, especially after doing doing the documentary, writing the book, seeing what it put your daughter through, going on a book tour with your daughter, and her telling you about her trauma and everything that man did to her, you look back fondly on fucking your daughter's abuser.
Nah. Nah. They definitely should have taken away the kids. Absolutely not.
So yeah, honestly, I'm kind of glad that I did this at like an hour in, because I don't think on like next week, I don't think I would have gotten through the whole case in one sitting. We're only halfway through.
This is insane.
Tina, do you understand why I messaged you and I'm like, my brain is broken?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I dude, that's why I also went so hard into this, because there was so much. And I'm not gonna lie, me and Ty had to take a break during the docu series, because you know how I told you Brother B taught Bob about eating pussy.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how Bob went home after that conversation and ate his wife out. Mind you, you could see on their face that they're both thinking about Brother B. Tina. Tina. Because Bob told Marianne everything that Brother B told her, like told him. So he told Marianne about all the crazy sex stories before going down on his wife. So you just see it on their face. They're having sex with each other, thinking about the same man. Me and Ty had to take a break. We had to watch something
Bro.
else for a while. Like, did just a A1 manipulator, bro.
Right.
A1 manipulator. Homie invented gaslighting, actually.
He had to, because
You
I am flabbergasted.
I was about to say, Ty, I love that this is the first pod that Ty's here for, because I told Ty that we're doing true crime and I'm talking about this, and he's like, girl, I'm sad. But yeah, we will finish Abducted in Plain Sight next week. But welcome to true crime season, y'all. um if you have any crazy stories or anything, or just like want life advice, feel free to email us at unhingedunfiltered.com. We do live stream the podcast every Wednesday around 8 p.m. Don't hold us to it. We are usually late. But at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do also post the episodes on YouTube. KJ, come back. KJ, I know you're not here, but come back. And we also have our episodes up on Spotify if you happen to not catch us live. And I don't know. Do you have any announcements?
um on Friday I'll be streaming. It's my anniversary
Oh, period.
since I started, yeah, so I'll be doing
Period.
that.
And I am taking part in a Halloween raid train. It starts October 2nd. My time slot is not until October 9th, though. So I will remind us about it. But yeah, good shit. And I don't know, y'all. Have a good night. Eat ass.
Don't eat pussy. Like,
Tina,
my brain
I
is
was about to say
broken right
I
now.
broke Tina.
Yeah.
Good night, y'all. We will
Good
finish this story
night.
next week. Yeah, it's a lot.
That